Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Softwaring. Welcome back to Plump Corp, and I need to apologize for two things. Number one, the delay between the previous episode and this one, and number two, the fact that everything we built towards the big PC idea that we had, all the things we were doing have been completed and you haven't seen it. And this honestly is a video I wasn't going to make because I felt it would be worse. I would feel worse sitting down and saying that, hey, all that stuff we were doing is already done and you didn't see it. The reason being that when I originally sat down to record the final episode for this season, I was basically in a bit of a rush. It was quite late in the day. I had a live stream to get to, and I stopped the recording. I think I went to make some tea, and basically when I got back, I cleared my voice recording from Audacity and recorded the, hey, I'm going live now playing whatever audio, and then I closed Audacity, and it turns out I didn't export my commentary for the previous episode. Or not the previous episode, but the episode that would have been this one, in which we released so many things. If we go to release date here, you can see we have the PX2, which is actually the computer that we were building towards. We renamed the Fulldozer to be the P7. We released the X80, Plump OS, Nova X, PD2. We needed to get this to build a completed PC system. We have the Plump Suite 3, which is a 2D editor because we're building towards a game engine. The PTX 200 is obviously an updated graphics card, and then the PX2 was released eventually, containing pretty much everything that we have ever made in terms of hardware. And generally speaking, the company is doing amazingly well. We have £35 billion. We have £100,000 coming off the PTX 200, 301 million coming off of the Nova X, 1.8 million coming off of Plump OS, and the P7 is making 1.7 million. So everything in general is doing very well. I legitimately feel terrible for the mix-up with the recording, and I understand if this is a video that you aren't entirely happy with. I do get that, and I am honestly, I'm so not okay with making this video because it just feels like such a, hey, I fucked up, but here you go, this'll have to do. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to at least explain what happened in the lost recording and trying to show you everything. And then today we can sit down and hopefully make a couple of other things using some of the hardware that we have and using some of the software that we have. So let's go ahead and right away go ahead and promote GFX Sculpt 4 into beta. This is a 3D editor. It's a franchise that we actually purchased. We didn't invent it. But basically the idea here is we're working towards having all the components to make a game engine so that we can make games exclusively for Plump OS and any successors to that. So that's the idea anyway. Whether that works or not, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. If we go to game engine, if we want, say, just everything in here, let's just chuck a bunch of stuff in. So if we throw all of that in there, networking, physics, scripting, QA, we need a 2D editor, a 3D editor, and an audio tool. When it comes to audio tools, we can probably use this, which, are we no, they're the inventor of it. No, I want to use my own. I think I want to use my own audio tool, so let's jump in here and start making an audio tool. It's going to be Wave Studio. Did I invent this? No. No, I did not. We'll do Wave Studio 4 then. Since, you know, we purchased this, the license to this, we might as well. So let's just throw everything in there that we possibly can. We're going to use Plump Suite 3 as the 2D editor. This is going to run on Plump OS. And it's going to be developed, I suppose, by the B team. It's going to take them more than a year. If I give this to all the A teams as well, still apparently more than a year, but that's fine. Let's put it on the internal dev server. We're going to make this about £90, and it is just default audio tool. That is fine. So let's develop that for Plump OS. Probably don't want to start marketing that just yet. There's probably not too much point in that kind of thing, so we'll not bother with that just at the moment. But fortunately, it is getting a little bit of work done there. Still making a bunch of money from Nova X, and I suppose we just need to see how things go with GFX Sculpt 4 and then Wave Studio 4 as well. I realize that while all of this is going on here, whilst we have some bug testing and some designing going on, I do want to look at some numbers and actually show you all of this. So, the original Plump Nova currently has 145 million units sold with a 41 billion pound profit with 344,000 active users right now. So that's the original one. We followed that up with Nova X. What is that, 6 years later? Yeah, that is 6 years later. It currently has 11.8 million active users with 12.3 million units sold and a 4.3 billion pound profit. Now, that's not terrible, but it would be nice if that would pick up just a little bit and maybe be, you know, a little bit better, but we'll see how that goes. PD2, the hard drive, Plump Drive 2, made, you know, less than 1 million, over 500,000 though, is not so bad. Plump Suite 3 made 5.2 million. PGX 200, interestingly, just lost me 5.2 million, and I'm not really sure why it lost me 5.2 million. It wasn't a terrible card. The original PTX 100 made me 4.9, so, I mean, even with, I guess this was more expensive to make, but even so, it's interesting that it just did not sell. Yeah, for 19,000 units sold, it's got 2,500 active users. I mean, this is not even a year later, so that is slightly concerning. Punch LLC will take the PTX 200 off my hands for £1 million. I reckon I'm probably gonna hold on to it, if I'm perfectly honest. But I don't know, it's just, it's really strange how some of the releases go. You have a product that makes you 40-something billion, and then you have one that makes you 4 billion that's a follow-up 6 years later. And I guess it was possibly, and most likely, as is the way with Software Inc., a very circumstantial thing. As I believe I've pointed out, there are some other companies have a lot of money too. For example, Doc Monday Industries are in fact the second most wealthy company and second most valuable company with the most fans, in fact, out of anyone here. So, and the reason for that is actually quite simple. They do have more products than me. They don't have any patents, which is nice. I don't know where that word came from, the patents thing. The weird way I said that was, well, weird. But they have a lot of products, but their profit in general does in fact come from this, which is the Primus PZ motherboard back in 1996, which was a server motherboard. It did very, very well for them, 116 million units sold, still has 104 million active users, which is a scary number for something that released back in 1996. They must still, there is no way they are not currently just making, they must be making so much off of that. It's tempting to buy it. It is like £738 million for something that I might still be able to market. I mean, I can't imagine it's making them much, but having that installed user base would be remarkable. That said, I'm almost certain that Doc Monday Industries is geared up to release in December of 2008 another server motherboard, the Tiger Z. So it could be worth looking into perhaps buying out that motherboard, the Primus PZ. Because I assume, I mean, they have Tiger OS 8, they have Tiger OS 9, they don't have anything, no, they have the Tiger X, which was a monitor, but it's interesting that the Tiger Z appears to be, yeah, the Tiger, that's a case, they have a lot of hardware in there. But it definitely looks like the Tiger Z is going to be their next big thing. So I think I'm going to buy that out. 736 million. We can afford it. We'll buy that and see how it goes. So I'm very curious to know now what exactly that company is going to be doing. Is Tiger Z, it must be a new IP. It mustn't be a follow-up to the one they originally released, so that's fine. If we go to My Releases and we go to Primus PZ, we can look at marketing this, I suppose, in every way possible. Give it to my marketing team down here. And I suppose we can see if it'll make us any money. I have my doubts. But it would be interesting to say the least. But I am... Yeah, this must be a new IP. It can't possibly be part of... Yeah. So it is still there. That's fine. That's fine. Let them do their thing and make a new server motherboard. To be honest, I could probably make one quicker. I reckon if we go into the motherboard business and we go to server motherboards here. So if we just add everything we can, batteries, just absolutely everything, speakers, universal bus, quad socket, water cooling, broadband, 5.1, just... Again, everything I can possibly get for this, to be honest. Nothing else I can add there. But in theory, this is going to be a ridiculous thing. I'm going to call this, instead of the Primus PZ, it's going to be the Plump PZ to follow up what the other company did originally. We're going to go for about £130. It's going to be running on the external process server, developed on the internal dev server. Doesn't have any dependencies. Will have BIOS, of course. Did I miss anything else? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Let's give this to my hardware team and start developing that. We're not going to market it, though, because that would be kind of silly. But basically, I want to release a server-grade motherboard before that other company can. I've bought out their original one. So now what I need to do is just release one before they can. And it should be incredibly interesting. Now, there was someone... You. Can I go to you? Okay, I didn't want to do that. Laurie Santos, you're in class. You're an artist. Why are you designing? I'm very curious about that. Why is it saying, hey, this artist is trying to design this and is going to be terrible at it? That's a curious thing. Also, where is my marketing team? Marketing employees are... What is their state? They're all on vacation. Okay, so marketing goes on vacation in October. That was not exactly the best idea to buy out the Primus PZ then in November, was it? But that's alright. That's fine. They'll be back in tomorrow. We can get some marketing done on it. Here's a question. How many people have retired from my company? Yeah, we had all these original people. Again, Marion Hicks would have been kicking herself there. But we still have people getting a lot of money. Betty Dixon was hospitalized in October. Bobby Nichols retired. Yeah, that's ridiculous amounts of money. It really is. I think I'm going to go ahead and chuck, say, another 5 billion in there. So we'll deposit another 5 billion so each employee is getting even more money for everything they're doing. And GFX Sculpt 4 is actually ready to release. So let's go ahead and just do that. Give it to marketing. Let's get it off the B team. Start the campaign. Minimize you and move it up there. Is there anything I can stop marketing? Probably the PTX 200, but it's making consistent money, so it's probably okay. So we'll see how that goes. Let's move you down to there. Alright, so GFX Sculpt 4 coming in at 14 million. That's... Wow. That did a lot better than I thought it would. Okay, so we did GFX Sculpt 3 Justice. Okay, well, we did, you know, we did buy out that franchise, so I figure that's probably for the best. I bought out a couple of companies. I can't remember exactly what companies, but I did buy out some. If we look at the section that has me in it, what did we do? We bought out, it'll be here somewhere, I think. No, apparently it won't be. Well, that's a bit disappointing. Okay. I was hoping I could scroll back through and maybe, you know, have things go my way, but apparently not. Anyway, marketing doing their job there. You'll notice the game grinding to a bit of a halt. It still does that, even on my PC. It is just going to continue doing that. That's why this was, and is most likely going to be the final episode of the series. The season, should I say. But this isn't the last you'll see of Software Inc. Don't worry. This is by no means the end of Software Inc. here on the channel. Now let's see how these things are all going to do. I'm noticing that Nova X is making over £500 million every month. Hopefully that'll go up just a little bit more, up to 654 million. That's ridiculous. Let's accept all of those. So GFX Sculpt 4 is now making nothing. That's to be expected. Primus PZ can probably be ended there. Yeah, we are making significant money. If we look at the releases, Nova X, with 17 million units sold, has made a profit of £6 billion with 16.5 million active users. That's not bad. That is not bad. But I think, honestly, I'm probably most excited for Plump PZ. I'm curious to see how this server motherboard goes. This is something we haven't really dabbled in. We've never built servers. We've never really tried building servers. So I'm definitely curious. Now let's see. This Wave Studio 4 is absolutely taking its time, which is a bit annoying. If I go and look at my teams, I mean, none of them are really all that good. This is, I mean, A3 is pretty good. A1, not so much. A2, also not so much. If we look into education and maybe just enable it there for all of them. So enable education for you, then enable education for, it is enabled for you. Then we enable education for you as well. Okay. So education, it was enabled for all but A1. And I suppose A1 is the team that will be in at the moment. So I guess that's fair. Okay, Wave Studio 4 is ready to leave beta, so let's release you, and we will immediately start marketing it as well. So let's go to the marketing team just there, hit OK, and start the campaign, and hopefully we'll get some money rolling in off of that very soon. We're very close to getting $1 billion a month on Nova X. Wave Studio 4 pretty much made nothing there. There we go, $1 billion a month on Nova X is ridiculous. But the good news is that now that we've released 2D editor, 3D editor, and some an audio tool, we can actually make the game engine that we wanted. So let's jump in here and throw in every little component that we want. All of this stuff as well. And we want 2D editor, we want to go for release date, we want Plump Suite 3. We're going to want GFX Sculpt 4 and Wave Studio 4. This is going to take approximately 4 years. We've never made an engine before, which is interesting. This will be in the internal dev server. It's going to run on Plump OS there, which doesn't actually have all that many active users and really didn't sell as much as I would have liked. That said, I think even though it's 3 years old, I think I might make this exclusive for Plump OS. I'm gonna try it. We're gonna see what happens. So Plump OS exclusively. Let's give this to the game dev team, I suppose. We'll give A1, 2, and 3 as well. So start that and develop, I guess. I haven't picked a name. Oh yes, let's get a name. So what we've got: Shape Tech, Render Engine, Land Tech, the Source Engine, the Realman Tech, VisionScape, View Polytest, BitGo, True 2D. Let's see. I kind of like BitGo. I think that's kind of a fun name. So it's not really within the realm of Plump Corp. I'm aware of that. But I just think BitGo, there's something about it, it's just nice. It's just a nice, simple, pleasant name. It does the job. I've also noticed we have 78 million fans. We're getting some serious money here. We really, really are. See, this is where I'm on the flip side of things with this kind of video, where I'm like, hey, I effed up. we're making enough money with this company that I feel like I really don't need to worry about what I release and when. Which is a weird situation to be in with Software Inc. Because I have struggled so many times with this game, and just in terms of gameplay, you know, I've had so many moments where it's like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know how to do this, something went wrong. And then just this, you know, 1.2 billion from Nova X, which, that's ridiculous. 39 million units sold, 38.8 million active users. That is remarkable. 42.6 million active users in Primus PC. I mean, it can't be ported. No one's interested in buying Primus PC. Is anyone interested in that? No one's interested in that either. Weblight 2 is a CMS that I didn't invent. Can I trade the IP? They'll take it for... Yeah, sure, there you go. Have that. I don't really want it anyway. What else have we got? I mean... Primus PC's done there. I really want to hold on to GFX Sculpt. I think that's fair. Bake, we could... Can I port that? Interestingly, no. We can't deal with the load from Plump Nova. Isn't that the original one? I could swear Plump Nova is in fact the original one. Let's just look at my servers for a second. The external process server has Plump Nova. Plump Nova is not the problem we're having right now. We can't deal with the load from Nova X. That's for sure. That's something that's gonna be a problem. So the external process server, we need to go and upgrade it. So let's have a bit of a look up here. So is that's my external process server. There aren't any upgrades I can make to you, are there? You are as upgraded as it's gonna get. Okay, I guess what I'll have to do is if I select that room and I select that room and I say, let's duplicate both of you, and we just pop upstairs, we can just chuck another giant server room up here. And then if I go downstairs and select all of you, then go upstairs and select all of you, then we connect those servers together. That is still the external process server, but it's now been duplicated. So that is a bit ridiculous looking, but in theory, we should now have a much more powerful external process server. Do we? We do. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that server's going to have too much trouble for a while. Especially since eventually, I mean, I can upgrade it again. So that'll be nice. That'll be super nice. Let's just oh, I didn't copy the windows? I could swear... Oh, I don't have windows. Okay, well, that building... This building is getting weirder and weirder. It really is. Ooh. No, that's a door. Okay. Can I copy that room? Like, would it let me? If I, say, take those ones as well, and we go to build mode, and we go to clone, can I just stick it? I can just stick it there. Okay. Well, that's not so bad. There we go. Can this stop opening every time I come out of build mode? That'd be excellent. Okay, so I'm curious to know now if Nova X is gonna make me even more money then. Also, so many people are retiring these days. But yeah, I'm curious to see if it having more server capacity, it's not gonna go, oh, okay, let's just sell a bunch more copies. Let's see, so we're now looking at 1.7 billion, okay. I mean, that's fine. Why am I dealing with you guys all the time? What team are you on? I want to see the details of you. So what team are you? Does it not tell me? I actually have no idea. I mean, take any job. I mean, I actually have no idea what team you're on. So what's your name? You are Mary Ellis. Okay, accept. Yep, there you go. So manage employees. Let's look for everyone beginning with M down there. So M is LM. So where? There. You are on the marketing team. Does the marketing team not have a leader anymore? That would kind of make sense. Manage teams, marketing, employees. No, they don't have a leader. Okay, skill. Get rid of state. Who is the highest lead skill here? You and Norris Burke. Let's change your role to leader of the marketing team, and then we're going to educate you in HR management and start that education immediately. So it seems that my marketing team definitely lost its leader at one point. Not quite sure who that would have been, but sure, these things happen from time to time. So I'm gonna make an interesting change to the way we run things here at the company. Previously, we've had 24/7 development thanks to having 3 hardware teams and 3 A teams, but I kind of want to change things just a little bit. I'm curious to see what would happen if Hardware 2 was working from 8 a.m. until, well, let's say they're working 8 till 4. You can work 9 till 5, so that seems fine there. Then Hardware 3 is gonna do, I guess, 10 until 6. So that should be fine. So basically, there's going to be a lot of people in the building at exactly the same time. We're going to do a similar thing with the A teams as well. They're going to work, you guys are going to do 9 until 5, and then you guys are going to do 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening. So that is going to change the way, I mean, for one, it's going to change the way this video looks, because for God's sake, it's going to lag like crazy. But I'm curious to see just how quickly things like Plump PZ might go. I'm curious to see if it might be quicker having all of my teams in the building at the same time, working on it at the same time, because we now have all of our artists and all of our programmers sat in here working on this thing, rather than everyone, you know, coming in at different times. So in theory, that should also make Bit Go a bit of a quicker process as well. Now, what I would like to do is just stop marketing Wave Studio 4. We don't really need that anymore. The frame rate is abysmal at this point. I do apologize for that, but there is nothing I can do about it. That's sort of what happens when you have, how many employees do we have? 439 people moving about your company at one time. That is unfortunately going to happen, so you're going to have to deal with that. That is just the way of things. I'm also curious to know if the time will skip at any point now, because we technically shouldn't have, and we do have the caterers in, don't we? Yeah, so you guys are in catering, and do we have caterers in this building anymore? Oh, hold on a minute. And we do have some caterers there. What team are you? That's A2. So A2 is currently working there. What time is A2 set to work until? A2 is 9 a.m. till 5 a.m. Let's change that to 5 p.m. so that they're not threatening to leave. So what I should see now is these guys going home at 5 a.m., then coming back in at 9. That's interesting. Are they? Have they just come back into... Yeah, they have. They have just come straight back into work. Okay. I do apologize. A2, that was a mistake on your rota. That I mean, you listened to it, A2. That wasn't my fault. Oh my god. We are at about 14 frames per second right now, ladies and gents. We are at a glorious 14 frames per second. Which isn't just slow, you know, my frame rate is not the only thing that's slow. It is, in fact, making the development of everything just that bit slower. Let's just look at this. If we keep the camera here, we get a nice steady 60 FPS, which keeps everything moving nice and quickly. So something very interesting has happened. Plump, or sorry, not Plump, but Nova X, that motherboard that was making me ridiculous sums of money, is now making me nothing. It has completely dropped off, and I have no fans. And I'm thinking, it's possibly, yeah, it's because Nova X is attempting to use 1.1, I assume, terabits. So, yeah, that's a problem. basically what that tells me is I need many, many more servers, because that did peak at about 4 billion per month. We're at 76 billion at the moment. So, I suppose I may want to look into getting more servers. So let's see if we can just duplicate this room. If we just do this and this, then pop down here, and we'll put one there, and we'll put one there, and there, and we'll put one there. Then if I pop upstairs, we'll do similar just there, and there, and I want one there as well, and that's fine. And I could do some more as well, which I kind of fancy doing just so I can make something that looks like a set of stairs as a building, so let's just do that kind of thing. So basically we now have a fairly ridiculous looking setup for this entire space. So let me delete you. Let me delete those as well. Let me just delete all of these servers that are in the way of the doors. So those ones are fine. So delete all of you. Now there's something that's alerting me there. I think it's, yeah, it's just these. Okay, so we now need to do that, and that, and get rid of these ones as well. So this way we should end up with some ridiculously strong servers. And I know this is absolute overkill. I'm fully aware of that. And I know that this is going to cost a lot of money to run, and that, you know, it is just the most ridiculous thing. But I kind of don't really care. I kind of really like the idea of this kind of thing, so this should be interesting. If I just put a nice big glass door there, we now have this giant, unbelievably huge server space. So that is all external process server. So if I select all of you, then we're going to start up here, I suppose. Select all of you, and all of you, and all of you. Or don't, or there we go. So select all of those. We now need to go into all of these rooms and select every single room of servers, which is just... Oh my god, I'm interested to see how strong this set of servers is actually going to end up being as well. But if we select all of those, and we go ahead and just connect them. Now the game is having trouble at the moment. The game is completely frozen for me. I don't know if this is actually... The game is now not responding. Ah, it's responding. Okay. So, my question is, what have I created? A server with 2.6 terabits. Okay. So what you're saying is that we're probably okay at this point. Right, so does that mean that Nova X is going to make me a bunch of money then? I'm very... I mean, what does that building look like now? That thing is... That's a strange looking building. That is a very, very strange looking building. But I am curious to see if Nova X will jump back up with the money then. No, it's not at 0, so that's a bit worrying. The good news is that BitGo is ready to jump into beta there, so we'll just get that done. There's everyone arriving for work, which is fine by me. Hopefully BitGo isn't going to take too long to get through beta. We do have 3 teams working on it, so it does seem to be coming along. As for Nova X and everything else, though, I mean, everything else has taken a bit of a dip in terms of money. We are spending a lot. We are spending a hell of a lot of money. A lot of money on bills. 66 million, basically, on bills alone. We're spending apparently only 71,100 on staff. No, salaries are 1 million. Okay. Fair enough. So we really do need to look into getting things like BitGo released and getting Plump PZ released as well. And it would also be really nice to have Nova X, you know, just jump up a little bit and make me some money. But I really, yeah, it really doesn't seem like it's going to do that, does it? We do have a small number of fans. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see BitGo bring back some of those fans. But we're not in the best place at the moment. I do want to have a look at numbers, though. I want to have a look. So, Nova X has... What is my units sold? Oh my god, Nova... Whoa, hold on a minute. Did it sell? It sold exactly the same number of units as the previous one. It also made more money, which is very interesting. Okay. I realized, is Primus PC, it's a server motherboard, is it? I guess it doesn't really need to run on a server if it is a server motherboard itself. That's fair enough. I mean, that makes perfect sense. I was hoping I could put that in my server as well, because that entire building is now one giant staircase of servers. Well, the good news now is that BitGo is ready for release, so let's go ahead and actually hold on to it for a second. Because, you know, its marketing is currently going to be heading home, and I don't really want to release this without getting some decent marketing behind it. So, what we'll do is wait until September, which it now is. Nova X is still making me nothing, which is a bit of an issue. But let's immediately jump in here with a little bit of marketing. So let's give that to you guys, start the campaign and see how this goes. We are supporting BitGo, which is great, but what I'm going to do is also assign a 1, 2, 3 assembly B and game dev to this. Because I kind of want to see how quickly we can get Plump PZ out the door. And I assume if we have about 400 people working on it, that should be relatively quickly. You would at least think it would be relatively quickly, and it certainly seems like network... I mean, it's shifting slightly, which is useful. Marketing is almost done, well, everything that they need to do, so that's excellent news as well. But hopefully, the release of BitGo is going to knock my reputation up just a little bit, so that we can maybe get more people buying into Plump Nova X, or Nova X. I don't know why I keep putting Plump in front of it. I haven't done that in a while, so I'm definitely curious, but I'm not really holding out hope. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at games. And I want to make... Apparently I don't want to make anything. Let's go with engine. Let's go with most recent release, which is going to be BitGo. Let's have a look at Plump OS for this. It is apparently going to be an original IP, which is interesting. Oh no, it has to be an FPS, doesn't it? And then it can be Bake. So we're going to go with Bake 2. We're going to go with physics, music, dialogue, all of this stuff here. So we'll put in everything that we possibly can. We're going to want some 3D graphics and cutscenes and all that stuff. It has multiplayer, mod support, it's not an MMO, dialogue, open world. I think we'll take out the open world, but this seems fine. So the 3D editor is going to be GFX Sculpt 4. The audio tool is going to be Wave Studio 4. We're going to give this to our game devs. It's going to take approximately 2 years. That's a while. We'll put the B team on that as well. And it's going to be 40... It's going to be £50. We'll go with that. Server, it's going to run on the external process. It's going to be developed on the internal dev. And let's do it. Let's develop it. There we go. That's what we want to see. Now, Plump PZ is actually super, super close to being done there, which is great news. Networking really took a nice, had a nice boost to it there. So if we can get everyone in the morning, that would be also super great. Now, there we go. BitGo has actually made us some reasonable... I say reasonable money. Let's be honest, that's not reasonable money at all. But at least we have 76 billion. If there was ever a time to lose every bit of money, every bit of income we had, it's probably when you have 76 billion in reserves. So I guess what we do at the moment is we're just going to have to wait for Plump PZ to be done. And the good thing with this is that this company here, Doc Monday Industries, they are still about 4 years, they're over 4 years away from releasing their server motherboard. And I mean, I'm releasing mine 4 years in advance after buying out their previous motherboard as well, so this could be interesting. Oh no, that's interesting. A patent I had on image compression has actually expired, so yeah, not anyone can use that without paying me. Which, I mean, fair. Do I have audio? Yeah, that's also been researched. That's really interesting that those do eventually expire. It doesn't seem like the game actually tells you when that will happen, though. Yeah, it tells you when the thing unlocks, just not when it's gonna expire on you. I mean, fair enough. That's reasonable. I mean, let me have a look. If we have a look here, and we go to research, and we go to 3D editor, wait a minute. It's not owned by, so it was 1990, so it was 16 years we had this one. Interesting, and that one was, I don't know when this one expired, but yeah, that is really strange that those expire without much warning. Also, enjoy the less than 10 FPS we're getting right now. You might notice there's been a bit of a leap in time over that cut that we had just a moment ago. That's because at this point, the game is getting slower and slower and is marginally unplayable. So, in complete honesty, I am just sat here letting the game run whilst I'm browsing Reddit. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. I'm just on Reddit, looking at things and waiting on this Plump PZ actually being ready to release, because I'm really curious to see if it'll make us some significant money. Okay, Plump PZ is ready for release. Let's get this done and see if we can make back some money. I don't know if this will work. I really don't. I'm really not sure. Our reputation isn't so great. We don't have any fans, but it might just end up paying off. And then again, it might not. We also have Bake, which is very close to being released. I don't know if we'll end up doing that. That might be something that we just leave as it is, considering Plump PZ is the big project here. So let's have a look. Plump PZ is about to have its first bunch of money, and we're going in at exactly 4.8 million. I'll take it. That's not bad. That's something. That could lead to a great deal of success. We are making some money. I mean, P7's been making some money this whole time. That is our processor, of course. If we go to here and go to my releases, look at profit, and have a look at P7, I mean, it's done all right. It has definitely done all right. Looking at releases here, we need to make a lot of money on Plump PZ to make a solid profit there, but at least we no longer have to wait on it being developed. We just have to sit here, look at it, and see if its money is just going to shoot up crazily the way things have in the past. So, in month 2, it wound up making 5.4 million, so it is safe to say that the money for Plump PZ is on the rise a little bit there. But, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to leave it there for today and for this particular season of Software Inc. I think we've made more than enough money. I really don't think there's much else we can do here, if I'm completely honest with you. We've made 75 billion pounds, sorry, not 75 million, getting 5.4 million from Plump PZ, we're getting 9.5 million from P7, we are getting a lot of things, a lot of money, we have made a lot of money, we have 50 billion in profit from Nova X, we have 20, that's not ours, never mind, that's not mine. We of course have the original Nova thingy somewhere. Plump Nova with 41 billion. We have P7 with 317 million. PX1 with 213. We made a lot of money. And I think Plump Corp has absolutely been a very successful company. So, ladies and gents, like I said, that is going to be it for today and this season of Software Inc. If you have any mods or anything you would like to see me play around with in a future season, do feel free to let me know. I'm not saying that there's going to be a future season of Software Inc. in the next week or two. I'm probably going to give the game some time in the way that I always do. But as always, I'm incredibly excited to see where Software Inc. goes. I'm incredibly excited to see what kind of things get added to and get modded into the game as well. So thank you kind of for watching. This has been Software Inc. and Plump Corp. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.